sunk an enemy destroyer.
Hey team, it's Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Here is the map repost with the oldie but goldie Des Moines. But before we begin, if you guys like what we're doing here and you see value in it, like, subscribe, bell button below. Appreciate all the support. At 2,000 subscribers, we are giving away a premium DD, and that'll be really, really awesome. But thanks again for all the support. Let's get right to this strategy to get the video going here. We are on the map repost, which is in clan. This is clan battles with A, B, C, and D points in the middle, and we've already talked about this map before. However, this one's a little different. I am now playing a oldie but goldie, like I talked about, the Des Moines. Really, really awesome ship, and by the title of the video, we get a lot of kills. So let's go right into it. How will we actually execute this map right here? So what are the advantageous things about this thing? Is you have a lot of island cover on a lot of places, and it's really up to your team how you want to pick and choose where you want to move the flow of your team and then which points to take up. I've seen a lot of good clans actually figure out spots to choose and actually sets up their radar cruisers pretty well. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the clan battle season seems to be not the way of the destroyer or battleship anymore. It seems to be that of the radar cruisers, and you're going to see a lot of that these days with so much radar out there. The destroyer is really having struggling to have a very hard time to actually cap or do any kind of effectiveness, especially gunboat DDs right now. Trying to melt anything down is really tough, and you only got one battleship, so it seems like the cruiser is the name of the game these days. But let's talk about how we're going to actually execute this plan right here. So not really sure where the enemy is going to be at, but our plan is really to advance into Bravo and Charlie. So that'll actually be the majority of where our push is going to be. What we're going to do is have a destroyer move into Bravo to spot, and then we're going to have the other destroyer move into Charlie. We'll have one cruiser, and typically this is what the team normally does if you're just taking Bravo Charlie cap, is you'll probably have a cruiser either facing right at this point right here and either face into Alpha or stay into Bravo. That way you have radar coverage for the entire area in the center right there, and then you have another cruiser that will support in the middle right here. It will take up an island perhaps right here at Bravo, in front of Bravo, to not only mitigate. Now you have to all realize that it's not just about capping points and holding them, but you got to mitigate as much damage as you can from the incoming fire from these cruisers or battleships, because they're going to be advancing right here. And again, you do not want to be caught broadside. Again, broadside means 90 degrees to the advance or gun shell arcs or whatever you want to call it, the gun firepower. You don't want to be perpendicular to that. Otherwise, you're going to expose a lot of broadside, and that is not something you want to do in a cruiser. And that mitigates a lot of your damage that way. And again, it's all about positioning. Like I said, you can't correct piss poor positioning. It all starts at the beginning. So we're in the Des Moines right here. Our goal is to actually sweep across this area and hold right there. And this I like this spot right here. Reason for Charlie, I like this spot right here because not only does it protect your broadside from getting shot at from the enemy right here, but it also gives you island cover to prevent from torpedoes coming in from the Bravo. It also gives you a point right here to shoot towards Charlie, which is where most of the time the enemy is going to be at. But the biggest downside of this position right here is if you have a destroyer. If you have a destroyer advancing from, let's say, way out here, now the problem is they could flank you easily. It then gives them shots from here, torpedoes in there, all while spotting you. So that is the disadvantage of this position for a cruiser. However, it does give you a great advantageous fire. And again, the cruisers and battleships I know normally don't travel this far down that quickly. So by doing this, you're taking a gamble. But again, you have radar. If you are Des Moines, you have radar. If you're a Soviet cruiser, you got a little bit 12-kilometer radar, which means that the destroyer player is going to have to play a little bit further out. In the eastern side, which negates their firepower because now they're kind of almost out of the match. So you're kind of keeping one destroyer out of the match, supporting the rest of the team here. And then, of course, you have your other cruiser player is probably going to linger around and support either at Charlie or behind me. But normally we're going to do kind of a heavy Charlie push to advance. So that way we're overwhelming Charlie. That gives us the ability to not only flank from the north, we can continue the push right here to flank into Bravo. Hopefully the enemy team has figured out and try to push that way. And then it also allows us, if we're in Charlie, to actually help and advance back into Bravo team so we can support both sides right here. And then you funnel fire into Bravo Alpha. So that's what it's going to look like. How this actually plays out is interesting. So I always like to see, what not every plan goes according to plan in first engagement. And I'm going to take a snapshot right there for later on. But this is how the basic strategy is going to work. And as you see it unfold, let me see if I remove the arrows here. Now you're going to see how this actually will play out if we have Destroyer right there, cruiser player right there. And then, of course, the Charlie cap is obviously taken by our destroyer, or at least be a little conservative in spot. We'll have a destroyer supporting us. I'm going to move right there, and the battleship will support in the rear, as well as Bravo right there. So this is kind of what the initial advancement of the Bravo Charlie push would look like, how we would set up, what kind of fire does it prevent, what are the advantages of this. So we have the Bravo destroyers will spot into Bravo for us while we have this radar cruiser providing radar support right there. The Charlie destroyer is going to have two options: either come in and support the Bravo or continue pushing out to give a little bit of spotting. Again, I said the radar cruiser is going to fire into Charlie and then also have radar coverage this way. With this radar cruiser has the coverage into Bravo as well as radar coverage as well. The battleship obviously will be able to shoot through anywhere, essentially, since it's a small map. And then we have another cruiser in the back that is also radar as a backup to fire in and provide fire support for Bravo and Charlie team. So that's kind of how the strategy is going to start off. But let's take a look at the gameplay replay and to see how it actually turns out. Alrighty, team, we are in the Des Moines here for the gameplay replay on Riposte. This is Clan Battle 7 versus 7 Tier 10, and I really enjoy this this tier for Clan Battles. However, it seems like, if you guys haven't noticed, that the ships that are being favored right now are really the radar cruisers. It must be a radar cruiser season today, or this season, and I just think it's really difficult playing the destroyer, especially a gunboat destroyer. And I'll do more videos to show how we can be a better destroyer player in Clan Battles. But right now, it seems like the name of the game is radar cruisers, because not only do you provide the HP and the firepower, but you're also providing that radar support, which is proving very detrimental to the destroyer player right now, because having a radar, I mean, it really deters you from either capping or shooting or spotting or doing anything remotely close to being a destroyer player, which is what you're supposed to do. Again, a destroyer player has to do everything, like cap, spot, torpedo, gunboat, kill other DDs, do everything, and it's becoming very, very difficult to do. And as here's an example right here, the Marceau does not have the same amount of DPM or firepower like we do, and is really difficult for this player to really sit and hold the cap, especially with the amount of firepower that's bearing down on him right now. And again, this is thanks to actually good positioning from our team right off the bat, because the destroyer player, the enemy destroyer, does not have as much support, as opposed to what we're doing is pushing a flank super hard. So he picked the wrong flank to go at, because Charlie, obviously, as you can see, it's going to be basically 5 versus 1. Our destroyer at Bravo is obviously spotting for us right now, as well as we have our other cruiser, Petro, is going to support the Bravo destroyer as well. Charlie destroyer is going to, again, play a little bit more conservative, so just keep the spotted going, and then at a time at their discretion, we'll push into Charlie when we've eliminated at least 1 or 2 threats at Charlie. I always say that, hey, first engagement, just try to get rid of one other player on the other map, giving us an advantage of guns and HP DPM, and that gives us something, a little bit more breathing room. Again, rather than rushing to your death and just charging right in and losing right off the bat, it gives the other enemy team a 1 player down advantage, as opposed to us having more firepower. And look, we're all positioning right here at Charlie. You can see that we have the numbers, and obviously their short player is running basically home, because they know they've already lost this fight. The enemy cruisers are basically now fully engaged. They cannot escape, and at this point we are just basically going to go ahead and farm and try to eliminate 1 player at a time. We call for the focus fire. If you want to be a better player on Clan Battles, be the one that actually coordinates the focus fire and commands and coordinates everything that your team needs to be doing together, working together as a one cohesive unit. And that really, I've seen, works very, very well to your advantage. Notice how much firepower we're putting on this one Des Moines, and he's already down to half health right there. And you can see it's basically the end of this Des Moines, because I think they kind of bit off more than they could chew, and it's just too much firepower for the heal, the damage con, to mitigate all this incoming fire. And this is exactly why I like the more heavy focus push, because you're getting more and more guns, and it's really a distraction to the enemy player, because they don't know who to shoot at, what to do, or they're just so distracted by all incoming fire that there's little to nothing that they can do to support or to mitigate this. And boom, there it is, splash 1. First player down goes down. We are now going to go and focus on the second Des Moines right here. Now, the second Des Moines is in a kind of a bad position right here, because one, he's got to figure out which side or flank is he going to cover. Is he going to cover the right, or is he going to cover the left? And he's not really sure where we're coming from, and that's actually a disadvantage to him, because really this island has really captured his spot and held him to one basically one spot that you can really use as cover, and also you got nowhere to go. I mean, if you reverse, you expose your citadel. If you go forward, you expose the citadel. So really, this is probably the worst spot they could be in right now, but they overcommitted, and pretty much this is how you overrun a flank. We get a nice little shot right there. Ooh, full broadside. Beautiful picture right here. Sometimes when you see this, it just melts your heart, and boom, there it is right there. Citadel shot right there. We're going to just aim at the waterline, and he goes down. Splash 2. He is out of the game. 2 kills down, and now we're going to go ahead and advance. We have 2 player down, and we have 1 player down as well, so we have a ship advantage. This is where we have 2 caps, and we are going to push and overwhelm their left flank right here. So now, again, you can't ever give up right off the bat thinking that you have a ship advantage. Never, ever give up. Always continuously look to see where can you be a productive player to help your team, because you don't know when your team could potentially throw the match by either giving up position, exposing too much citadels, and stuff like this right here, where you have a Marceau just full broadside, unknowing shots are in there, and boom, splash 3. He goes down, and that is the 3rd kill for us right there. You can see how the trend is going, and though we actually lose our Puerto Rico, which is not a good thing. And again, I've always said, again, never ever give up just because you think you have a ship advantage or a cap advantage, because you never know in World of Warships where, like I said, the game of throws that Mr. Jingles talks about all the time, you never know when that could happen, and we lose our summers right there. Never ever lose a destroyer player, guys. I mean, the destroyer player is one of your key components to winning the match. So as a radar cruiser, it's crucial that you provide radar support as well as the guns to support your destroyer to mitigate the damage that they're receiving, because sometimes they don't have enough HP, or the health or the heals to recover from that much damage. So we're going to see if we can knock out as much damage as we can on the Montana pushing into the middle of the map right here. And we're going to see if we can start a fire. He takes a shot. We're going to go ahead and nose in right away to mitigate the damage right there. And yep, a lot of shells missed right there. That's exactly why as soon as you see a flash, or if you have incoming fire alert, you see an exclamation point pop up, that tells you, hey, someone shot at you 4 kilometers or more away. Do something to change the direction of your ship to miss those shots. And we lose our Shimakaze. Not very, very good right there. We lost all our destroyer players. That is not going to be good. You're going to notice that the team that loses all their destroyer players typically is the one that will lose, because you lost all your spotting. You lost the ability to cap quickly. And again, it is very detrimental to have that severe losses from your team. So let's see if we can salvage what we can right here and try to help out our team as much as we can. We're going to push hardcore in. This Napoli didn't realize where we're at, and look, we are shooting full AP shells right into the broadside right here. These are, ooh, look at that, nice citadel shots, and this is something that you don't want to be at for a Napoli. And we are taking shots right into his broadside. And boom, splash 4. That's how we take out our cruiser player, the Napoli, which has turned out to be very, very deadly up close. But oh my goodness, we have I can't say that. That's the Super Petra right there, pushing our rear flank right there. We're going to have to commit to this. Oh, we lost our battleship. So we're going to have to, I'm sorry, that wasn't our battleship. That was no, our battleship's still there. That's right. We just killed the Napoli. Sometimes you get turned around in there. We're going to go ahead and advance on the Montana, because we're going to have to hurry up and take out as many players as we can to salvage this match right here. And let's see if the Montana actually commits to us. We have kind of a majority of health right there. We mitigate a lot of the damage right there. We're going to go ahead and damage con, get both our guns up front. Aim at the nose, at that's the weakest spot of a battleship right there, right at the front. But if we get full broadside there, we're going to go ahead and shoot nice full broadside shots right into hopefully the citadel. And at the rear area, the aft area right there is the weakest spot. We're going to shoot right there and see if we can get the kill. And boom, there it is. Splash 5, Kraken. In clan battles, if we did get a Kraken, but 5 kills is still 5 kills, so I call it a Kraken. Anyways, we lose the rest of our players right there. And looks like our Novus Bursk, or the Super Petra right there, also goes down from the other Super Petra. So we're in a jam right here. We have a destroyer that will spot us, and we have a super cruiser that's also going to be able to broadside the crap out of us. So what do we do in this situation right here? We're going to have to take the left side or the right side. So we're going to figure out how are we going to mitigate damage, all while seeing if we can salvage this game. Again, we're not in a rush. We still got 11 minutes right here. My RPF is showing that he's right ahead of us right there and capping Charlie. Yep, there he is right there. We're going to pop the radar. And I got to make a decision. Do I shoot the destroyer to eliminate, or do I kill the cruiser that's looking at me full broadside? Ouch, right there. That's exactly why you got to keep situation awareness. You don't want to expose too much, and we take a torpedo hit. That is not good. Again, this is almost not unfair advantage for me. We got 2 shots from left and right, and we're going to have to make a decision. So I'll go ahead and make a decision and kill the weakest player right now. If I can take out the cruiser player, before, and then that way it gives me the ability, and we die, but not after we get the 6th kill right there. Unfortunately, we were the last player, and there's nobody left to salvage the map. But again, that was way too much stuff going on left and right. Not sure who to shoot at, but hey, we've made a decision and stuck with it. That's how it goes. 6th kill right there for the Des Moines, killing almost the majority of the team. And that's all we could do. But Des Moines, man, oldie but goldie. This is an old school ship that's been around for a while, but it still performs like a champions. But anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you see the tactics are cool or beneficial. Like, subscribe, bell below. Build is at the end of the screen right here. Take a pause at it, take a look at it, how I built my Halsey Des Moines build, Captain build. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll see you out there. And again, stay safe. Cheers.